it might seem weird that can be this disconnect between your confidence and your competence. Why won't they match? And there's a couple of reasons why that can be the case. So the first thing I want to look at is what I call the goal to confidence pathway, because confidence is all about, again, your belief in your ability to accomplish a task or a goal. And so it's helpful to think about, what is this process we go through when we're accomplishing a goal? And so our brains kind of go through this 3-step process. So the first thing is we set the goal, right? What's the thing I want to accomplish? Let's say your goal is you want to deliver a successful presentation to your leadership team. Great. Then you self-monitor, or you observe yourself. So as you are preparing, you are looking at yourself. How am I doing? How does this feel? What am I thinking here? And then based on your observation, based on your self-monitoring, you evaluate your performance. You look at your current performance with where you think you need to be in order to accomplish your goal. And depending on that evaluation, that determines your confidence. You give yourself a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And so I'm sure you can see how this goal to confidence pathway can be fraught with some landmines. There are places in here where we can get a little distorted. And so starting with the first step, just setting the goal, we can undermine our confidence. We can set the goal so high, set the bar for ourselves so high because we think we need to be perfect. And so perfectionism can really undermine our confidence. Or because that goal is set out into the future, we can engage in negative futuring, imagining all the bad things that can go wrong, right? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? And that undermines our confidence as well. With step 2, the self-monitoring process, we can have what I call broken thermometer syndrome. So we are so subjective that we're not being objective enough, and we're just not assessing our performance correctly. And so an example that I give is, I was working with a woman on a presentation, and she talked with a very soft voice. You could barely hear her. And I kept trying to say, can you project a little bit more? We need a little bit more volume. And she would push a little bit more, but we still couldn't hear her. So finally I said, I need you to yell. She went, yell? Yell. And so she finally yelled in her mind. And in her mind, she was being so loud and inappropriate that she couldn't believe that that's what I was asking her to do. To us, to the audience, she was just at an appropriate volume. So that's an extreme example of how our thermometer can be broken. We're just not seeing ourselves correctly as we are monitoring ourselves. And then lastly, with the self-evaluation, we can evaluate ourselves and judge ourselves too harshly. Or we can be comparing ourselves to other people. So instead of comparing our current performance to where we need to be to achieve our goal, we're comparing our current performance to where somebody else is, and we're coming up short. So these are some areas to think about. If you're feeling that your confidence is a little shaky, look at this goal to confidence pathway. Am I being perfectionistic? Am I imagining all the bad things that can go wrong? Am I assessing or evaluating myself correctly? I might need to get an outside perspective, somebody else to be my mirror. Or am I judging myself too harshly or comparing myself to somebody else rather than where I need to be in order to be successful?